Hey, it's Saturday morning in Cusco, and I'm walking towards San Pedro Market, which everyone likes to talk about as being the central Cusco market. So I'm going to show you where the real Cusco market is. Actually, I'm kind of in the middle of it right now. The streets of the markets in Cusco. San Pedro is for tourists. The guides that take people there get a commission when you buy things from the little souvenir shops. It's I don't want to call it a scam, but it's well known locally that that is not where people go to shop. In fact, the merchants inside the San Pedro market are really upset because they are losing business to all the people outside.
Sí.
Right now, I'm standing right in front of the San Pedro market. Saturday morning, full of vendors. As you can see, some of the stalls are closed. I'm betting that that's because vendors couldn't make enough money inside, so found another place to shop or to sell, or they just shut down completely. Disculpe. That was the first row. On a busy Saturday morning, I've never seen this many shops closed, so I'm assuming they shut down for a reason. That's the second row. I don't think I'm even going to bother going down there, but you get the idea of what it's like. This is where local people normally would be shopping. As you can see, there's hardly anyone here. Lots and lots of vendors. I know a lot of them came early this morning. People came to buy things for their restaurants, for home. Across the way, the famous juice ladies. There are tons and tons of little juice bars. And actually, I strongly recommend you coming here because it's really good, really cheap, and you just can't beat it. More than normal stalls already closed up. Walking down the main center aisle, it's actually kind of slow right now since tourist season's really going. Now we get back into the things for tourists. All kinds of stuff. Row after row after row. I promise you, local people don't come here to buy this kind of stuff. There are lots of other real markets. I'll take you down one day to a big market called El Molino, which is where it's open every day, just like here, but on Saturdays, it's jammed full of people. More souvenir shops. Lots and lots and lots of souvenirs being sold here. One thing that is local is the back of the San Pedro Market is full of little, I don't know how I call them restaurants, but they're little shops where you can grab something to eat cheap. You rarely see locals here, but people who work around here flock here every day. This is where they can get a cheap meal very close to where they work.
El día 7, todos nos encontramos 8 en punto las danzas de la Plaza San Pedro para irnos con nuestro patrón a la misa al templo compañera de la catedral.
If you want real Peruvian food, come here. As I said, outside of San Pedro is where the real Peruvian market is. This is where Peruvians come to shop. Not just on Saturdays, but every day, but particularly on Saturdays. People come in from villages and pueblos from all around the region to sell things on Saturdays, so you get a much bigger selection, especially things like flowers and fruit. This is actually kind of slow today. I'm guessing because I'm a little bit late. It's around 10:30, 11 o'clock. This is stuff people bring in from all over. You have to be a little careful because there are pickpockets, especially later in the morning, like right now, because that's when the tourists start to come. They don't bother coming here to rob local people. All right, I'm gonna make a left at the Mercado Cascaparro and make my way downhill. I strongly suggest, even if you don't want to buy anything, come here just to see what real Cusco life is like. The colors are fabulous. The fruit is fantastic. If you've never had real fresh fruit, like if you're from the US and you don't get to eat fresh things, like right off the tree, maybe within the last 24 hours, this is the place. Most people from the US probably couldn't even recognize most of this stuff. There's a lot of things that I don't recognize. Seen before a lot of it and don't know the names, but as far as even recognizes it, it's a mess getting through here. But it is fun. As I said, lots and lots and lots of fruit. Get this all the time in Cusco, but I could be just about anywhere. And one of the cool things is I'm probably going to see friends. Like I just ran into a couple of neighbors, Jackie, their kids, and her husband Mehdi he's French. But they met, if I remember right, they met on a cruise ship a long time ago, or several years ago. Now they've got a family, really, really nice people. And Jackie's parents live just around the corner from me. I see carrots and onions and lettuce, tomatoes. What else? People are getting frustrated with me for going slow, but oh well, I don't care. Just the colors here are amazing. See cucumbers, lots of potatoes, bananas. Just fantastic here. Across the street, down the bottom of the hill, used to be a huge, huge market. All of a sudden I'm drawing a blank on what it was called, but it was closed down about 4 or 5 years ago. It was a Saturday market, the streets were all closed, and the joke was if you had your phone stolen during the week, you go there and you find it and buy it back on Saturday. My friend Mehdi said he couldn't stand this. The crowds were too much for him. I kind of agree. Even though it's not too crowded right now, it is still crowded, especially along the sidewalk. That's where it's no fun at all.
A 5 soles, audífonos, cargadores.
Oh, it's crowded. Hard to get through here. You want to be polite to the elderly people, of course. I think this is the little street that my friend Scotty a long time ago called Chicken Street or something like that because of all the chicken and meat that's sold along here. It is definitely a place where you come to get meat. You name it, it's here. Lots and lots of fish, frozen from the coast. Some of it may be trout from around here, but the bigger ones are definitely brought in from the coast. People in the U.S. are used to buying their meats at the store in freezers, or at least cold refrigerators. Here, the meats sit out on the sidewalk. I know you probably think you get sick, but I don't think so. People make a big deal out of getting sick when they really have no idea what made them sick when they're here. It's a cool street, but honestly, the smells might get to you. They're a little strong for me. This woman in front of me is selling sugar cane and watermelon. Watermelon is really popular, called sandia in Spanish. It's very popular. There's some limes, actually a lot of limes, peppers, you name it, it's here. Lots of limes there. Interestingly, you just don't find lemons here. These ladies along here are selling all kinds of food that they brought with them. It's usually not this full, but on Saturdays it's jammed with things they grow on their own farms or stuff they buy locally in their villages and bring to sell in Cusco where they can charge a little bit more. Lots and lots of corn, although corn is a little slow right now. The crops have mostly been harvested. Between all the vendors in a narrow street, I don't know why they let this be a 2-lane road, at least on Saturdays. Little man in the taxi next to me doesn't even have passengers. He's just honking to let people know he's here, and then he can give them a ride. That's how things work here. Taxis honk like you can't tell they're taxis. And it's pretty much constant. That's probably the one thing that I've never gotten used to. Crossing the street is also just pretty much a nightmare here. This is the easiest place for a while, so I'm gonna wait till the light turns green in front of me. Most people, including me, normally would cut across, but I'm gonna make it look like I'm being polite and correct and wait. Lots of buses. People get here for either on taxi or by bus. Taxi costs a little more. Buses cost about US 25 cents to get all up and down town. You know what? I'm not gonna wait for the light to change. I'm just gonna make my way downhill. This particular section is always full of flowers. Sometimes, depending on the season, upcoming holidays, there are far, far more flowers here. But you can probably always find flowers. Lots more flowers down the street. If you want to come here on a bus, look for a bus, or I guess you could ask a taxi that goes to Paraíso. Paraíso is this area named after the shopping market across the street from me. It's not very big, but it's kind of in the center of everything. I think I'm going to make my way down the street here. This street is called Tres Cruces, or Tres Cruces de Oro, three golden crosses. It is really crowded here. Anytime on Saturdays, early Saturday mornings. People start getting here around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to set up and sell things. Now it's time to cross. This isn't so much life in Cusco. This is pretty much any Peruvian city when you get away from the both the tourist sections and the places where the wealthier people live. The vast majority of Peruvians shop like this. I don't know how to describe it, but I always enjoy coming down here. Even though like Medi, I hate the crowds. The energy here is just amazing. It's, for lack of a better phrase, this is my world. This is a two-lane street, but there's nobody behind. Why there's no traffic coming the same direction as me, I don't know, but I'm sure they'll show up. I can see some cars up ahead that came this way before. This has been pretty calm this morning. Usually it's hard to film because I'm constantly being knocked around and bumped and elbowed by people passing by. Not today. That part's probably going to get... One of the challenges filming in places like this is there are so many people who play music. I don't know what the point is. It doesn't really attract anyone, I don't think. But YouTube doesn't like popular music or any kind of commercial music on videos, so they'll cut that out if I don't do it beforehand. I've had a couple of videos where YouTube has said there's a problem and we're gonna mute that part. These guys will cut right in front of you and hit you if you're not careful. That's one of the signs that I'm a local. There's still traffic here, but I'm still walking in the street. I know they'll go around me to a point. If there was much more, I definitely wouldn't. And of course, you can't see me turning around every once in a while and looking backwards.
Esa es la hecha. Muy delicado.
Now this little street, Calle Quiera, is strictly one way, and the sidewalks are much, much wider, which is nice. So it's not the least bit crowded along here. Probably 95% of these cars are taxis. The buses are mostly full. There are a few seats, but for the most part they're full. Some of them have people standing. I always get a kick out of these buses called, this is the Batman route. How they got the name, I have no idea, but I've ridden Batman buses quite a few times. Sometimes they go places that I need to go. I'm making my way back to the Plaza de Armas where I'm going to get a late breakfast, early lunch. In fact, where I'm going to go and get my coffee. I've taught the girls inside. They all know when I come at this time, they've learned the word brunch. They get a kick out of that. Can't remember, let me see, what do I call it? Desalmuerzo. That's basically the Spanish translation for brunch. Part of breakfast, desayuno, and a part of almuerzo, which means lunch. If you're wondering, this wall to the right is fake Inca. The stones are Inca stones, but the wall itself is not. Now, across the street, I'm not sure if that's Inca or Spanish. I think it's probably Spanish, but I honestly don't know. Well, I made my way back to Avenida El Sol. I'm a block away from the Plaza de Armas. Across the street is the Palacio de Justicia, the courthouse, which I love that building because there's nothing like it in all of Cusco. Up the hill is the direction of the plaza. A lot more colonial buildings here. Still lots of pedestrians and traffic. In fact, the closer I get to the plaza, the more and more tourists I see, which I'm not gonna lie. As I've said in lots of videos, in my blogs, in my podcasts, tourists often drive me crazy because 95% of them are nice people and they have respect for everyone and everything, but it's those 5% that are just rude as could be, have no respect for anyone, think the world is here for them, and treat Cusco like Disneyland. They drive me crazy. Luckily, I haven't seen any of them this morning, and hopefully won't. Across the street is the Plaza de Armas. Something's going on today. May take a little peek there and show you some video of that. There's something going on in front of the cathedral, but not in the street. Everyone's facing the other way. The church doors are closed, so it's not people coming out. I don't know, on a Saturday, it could be anything. There are frequent weddings on Saturdays inside the cathedral. But I can't tell what they're looking at, and to be honest, I'm not going to go over there. There's a bandstand, a stage set up in front of the cathedral. I'm sure there will be plenty of things going on today and over the weekend. And I promise you, if you come to Cusco in June, you're going to see something every day. It's really cool. They do lots of great stuff. They have lots of marches and processions and parades. And it means a lot to the local people. It's not just for tourism. Okay, I'm gonna go up to the office, relax a little bit, and get some work done, maybe. So if you enjoyed this little walk through the markets, and please feel free to subscribe and give this a like. I'll definitely be doing lots more. They're fun to do. I love sharing my home. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.